in the first go-round, we were able, with our partners in Qatar and Egypt, to get an agreement that resulted in the release of more than 100 hostages. And I believe that the proposal that is on the table and that is shared among all of the critical actors, of course, Israel, but also with Qatar and Egypt playing a critical role in mediating and working between Israel and Hamas. I believe the proposal is a strong one and a compelling one that, again, offers some hope that we can get back to this process. But Hamas will have to make its own decisions. I can just tell you that there is, again, strong, I would say, alignment among the countries involved that this is a good and strong proposal. And the work that was done over the weekend, including by CIA Director Bill Burns, was important in helping to advance this.
Afternoon, everybody. I know there's a lot of interest, and rightly so. There's no reason that whatever our response is, there's no reason for that to have an impact on our ability to try to get these hostages released. And as I said last week, so I can say today, those discussions are ongoing. We believe they have been constructive and are moving in a good direction. Don't want to sound sanguine here. There's a lot of work left to be done. We don't have an imminent deal to speak to, but based on the discussions we've had over the weekend and in recent days, we feel it's moving in a good direction.
Just one other thing, if I may. You said earlier on the hostages, can you give us an update on the latest there and what you expect in terms of a ceasefire?
Well, again, the discussions have been pretty constructive. What we're, and I want to be careful here because don't want to say anything that would torpedo the deal we're trying to put in place. But what we're trying to work on is another humanitarian pause of sufficient duration that will allow a large number of hostages to get released. And as you've seen in the past, when we did this back in November, you got to have a pause in the fighting to get them safely out. The pressure the president's feeling, there's no reason why our work on a hostage deal needs to be affected or impacted by what happened over the weekend or what we do about what happened over the weekend, and we will respond. We still want to keep the work going, our shoulder to the wheel on this hostage deal, and we'll just have to see where it goes. I also want to repeat what I said earlier. We're not overly sanguine here. We're not cocky. We understand there's a lot of hard work ahead, and that work ahead of us diplomatically certainly might be affected by events elsewhere in the region, not just what happened in Jordan and what might come as a result of that. But there's no reason why it should, and that's why we're going to stay at that task.
We are in a much better place than where we were a few weeks ago.
The Prime Minister of Qatar on Monday said that good progress was made toward a new hostage deal between U.S., Israeli, and Egyptian spy chiefs who met in Europe over the weekend.
I think yesterday was good progress made to get things back in shape and to at least to lay a foundation.
Speaking to an Atlantic Council webinar, Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdulrahman bin Jassim Antony said he hoped to present a framework for such a deal to Hamas.
But we are hoping actually to relay this proposal to Hamas and to get them to a place where they engage positively and constructively in the process.
Qatar and Egypt have opened channels to Israel and Hamas and brokered a 7-day truce in November, in which Hamas freed more than 100 of the 253 people it abducted in the October 7th cross-border rampage that triggered the Gaza war. In return, Israel approved increased aid for the devastated enclave and released scores of Palestinian prisoners. One of the former hostages is Amit Susana. On Monday, she visited the burnt houses on Kibbutz Kfar Aza, where she lived.
My entire face and body was bruised and swollen.
Susanna spoke on Monday as part of a campaign by families and supporters of the remaining hostages to focus attention on their plight.
I hope that the remaining hostages there are able to keep their faith alive and stay strong. But even the toughest souls can't hold on for such a long time.
More than 100 Israelis are believed still captive in Gaza. Amid fighting on Monday in Khan Yunis, Palestinians were seen heading further south toward Rafah, many carrying all their belongings in their hands. Hamdan al-Najjar said it felt like a siege on all fronts, that anywhere they went, they could be told to head back where they came. It's a hopeless life, he told Reuters. Israel has vowed to eliminate Hamas and return every hostage. Qatar's prime minister said that negotiations, not war, have proven the way to bring captives home.
We are seeing in Gaza is not getting any result to get the hostages back, but the process is the one which is getting them back.
The Qatari prime minister was careful to say he was not sure if the current talks might bear fruit, and if so, how soon.
I'm here today actually with a coalition of other healthcare workers who are dedicated to calling for a ceasefire and dedicated to the liberation of Palestine. What's going on right now is a genocide. It's a human rights violation. It's a massive public health crisis. And we are here to call upon Vice President Harris to call for a ceasefire and to send immediate humanitarian aid to Gaza.
Unprecedented rates of miscarriage as they watch their babies die in their...
Ask her what she is doing to help these starving pregnant women in Gaza. Ask her. Biden, you can hide. Biden, genocide. We are doing genocide.
I would just say that Vice President Harris is our first female vice president. She is our first vice president of color. She is in an extraordinary position during an extraordinary time and must act extraordinarily. What we need to call for now is not only an end to the genocide, but an end to funding Israel. If we really cared about reproductive rights, we wouldn't be sending over $10 million to Israel each day. If we really cared about reproductive rights, we would be taking care of the marginalized communities and the failure of our healthcare system here in America.
Some of the names: Subhi Hamdan, Subhi Hassouna, Ayman Ahmad Ramadan al-Masri, Jihad Abd al-Rahman, Jihad Hassan, Siraj Mahdi, Jawad Ali, Ahmed Yasser, Ahmed Abu Halhoul. Their brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers.
Coincidentally, found so many of her family members on it.
I hope, I pray that God does not show you mercy. If it does not happen through you, it will happen through someone else.
Here today? Oh, I'm here because I'm tired of seeing the genocide. I'm tired of seeing kids on my Instagram feed dying half dead, crying because their parents died. I'm tired because I've seen my own family who lived in Gaza completely wiped out. Amongst them are 6 toddlers who of course did nothing wrong. And so that's not something that I see that's very dignifiable. So that's why I'm here to speak out, take my rights, my American rights, because I am an American citizen, and use my freedom of speech to speak up for justice.